Hey guys, Meal Prep Sunday, and I'm going to share with you one of my favourite recipes, which is banana oat pancakes. So we've got a cup of milk of your choice. You can use almond milk. I'm just using regular cow's milk today. You can use almond milk, oat milk, whatever you like. Sprinkle of cinnamon, teaspoon of vanilla extract, teaspoon of baking powder. We've got 2 eggs, 2 cups of oats, a very ripe banana. And I'm also going to make separately my jam, which I've also shared on here with you before. Just putting some frozen fruit into the pan and about a tablespoon of maple syrup. That's all you're going to need, if not probably less than that actually. It's really lovely. You don't need a lot of sweetener in there at all. And then I'll cook that up. I'll put the lid on that, just let it simmer on the stove. And I'm going to cook that up, and that will last in the fridge. Well, it won't last that long because we all eat it really quickly. I can have that on my pancakes in the morning. So we're going to take our ripe banana. We're going to throw it into a bowl. And just give it a little mash. And the softer the banana, the sweeter those pancakes are going to be, because you get all those lovely sugars from the banana. Okay, so we're going to give that a quick mash up. I'll be as quick as I can because it is obviously live today, and you might get bored, but try not to. Okay, so a couple of eggs are going to go in there as well. And I've now got going in 2 cups of jumbo rolled oats, so they're going to go in there as well. Just going to give that a little mix while I'm going through. Now you'll see today that I'm going to actually use a stick blender, which makes it a little bit more, should we say, rustic. If you've got a regular blender, you're going to get smoother pancakes, and they're really nice. I often do make them smooth. If I'm being honest, I'm being a little bit lazy today because I can't bother to wash the blender. So this stick blender just makes it a little bit easier for me. Okay, so I'm just going to give those a really super quick stir. Almost there. And a little bit of salt, just brings out the sweetness. Always nice to have a little bit of salt. If you are on a low salt diet though, you don't have to add that. I'm not sure how much has come out there, I think we're good. Okay, we're going to take a teaspoon, if I can open it, of baking powder. Give that a sprinkle. And a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Okay, pure vanilla extract. A teaspoon of that going in there as well. And then just a little sprinkling of cinnamon. So probably maybe half a teaspoon. Depends really on your taste. That's really up to you with regards to the cinnamon. So you'll see, I could easily cook these now, and I've got some kind of, I'd have some really rustic, chunky oat pancakes. You get kind of all the oats in there as well. And they are really good too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend this up with my stick blender to get a slightly smoother texture, but not quite as smooth as if I were using a regular blender. So I've put it all into the blender. So you're going to have to talk amongst yourselves while I do this as it's live. Going through that stick blender. It won't take very long. When I make a batch of these, normally about 8, hopefully you can still hear me, making a batch of about 8 of these. You can freeze them as well, so if you don't want to eat them all, you don't want to have them all week. My son will eat them as well, my husband eats these. Otherwise, they'll store in the fridge for probably about 3 to 4 days. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for now. So I'm going to go now and pop those on the pan, cook them, and I'll come back when they're ready and show you what they're going to look like, And also, at the same time, we'll cook off our jam, and that will go into a jar, so that'll be ready for the week as well. See you in a bit. So guys, here we are, just finishing off the last pancake. My jam is also done, so I'll let that cool down, and then we'll pop that in a jar. And we've actually only made 7 of these today because I went a little bit larger, so it should make about 8, but I managed to make 7. And you know what? They're not perfect. They're like me. Definitely not perfect. But that's what you get with me. What you see is what you get. A little bit rustic and imperfect, but unique, full of flavour, yummy, bold. Okay, so here's our lovely pancakes, banana oat pancakes. As I said, they will stay in the fridge. Well, they won't because we'll probably eat them quicker, but they can go in the freezer if you're not going to eat them all. They can go in the fridge for like 3-4 days. They'll be absolutely fine. We can add a little bit of yogurt and a little bit of jam on those in the morning. Pop them in the microwave, pop them in the toaster just to heat them up. Or they're even really nice cold. Sometimes I'll have them cold, just spread with some peanut butter and a little bit of my homemade jam in the car on the way to a client. So absolutely delicious. And these, just drop me a message if you want the recipe, okay?